everybody, it's Maymax. In today's video, I'm just going to be doing a speed paint of my OC. Her name is Stella. As you can see, I'm using a reference from Senshi Stock. It's this place on DeviantArt. It's pretty great. It's a really good place to go if you're looking for any references. So here we go. Right now, I'm just doing a sketch of the pose. So I think, like, in this one, I'm not very happy with how I didn't do the, like, head tilt. She kind of has more of a tilt of her head back, and I definitely didn't include that in mine, which isn't great, but I am pretty happy with how the rest of the pose turned out. And I definitely used the Senshi stock photo for reference on my lighting and shading. Oh yeah, and it's definitely a good idea to zoom out when you want to get a better idea of your composition and how it's looking, so that's always a smart idea as well. And now I'm starting to add the color in. I always color underneath my sketches, like whenever I do anything. I don't really like to do line art. I get really bored when I do line art. I get sick of it. So I just paint under my sketch and then I paint on top of it afterwards. I know a lot of people probably don't do that, but that's definitely the method that I've come to like the most. It ends up being me painting on one layer most of the time though, for most of the painting, other than obviously the sketch and the color underneath. But on top of that, I'm doing like usually 1 to 3 layers of like just painting. I think I've learned kind of a new method with the hair that I paint. I've especially learned how to kind of do multiple tones in it and make it look more shiny. It still looks a little ribbony, so I want to maybe like improve on that as well. Also, something else I noticed on this painting was that like, I didn't notice it until like near the end of it, but the nose and the mouth are too far down, so I had to move them up because the chin's way too small. So I did all this detail and I had to like move it back up, which goes to show, you know, how important it is to do like your structure sketches before you do any of this other stuff. But yeah, I think I learned a lot about like how to paint multiple tones in skin. I always give my characters like kind of blushy cheeks, and I like to make them look really flushed, I guess, which is kind of my favorite. It's just like a look I've gone for in my style a lot more recently. And also I've been giving them kind of like white pupil eyes, like not the normal kind, so that's been really interesting. But I also noticed in this one the neck was like really wonky and looked a little too skinny, but I fixed that later on as well. There's a lot of things that I don't notice until people point them out to me, so it's always a really good idea to get feedback from other people when you're doing paintings. I had multiple things pointed out to me for this one, which is why you'll probably see lots of like lengthy pauses, because I'm sending screenshots to friends and being like, hey, what's wrong with this? And they're like, wow, this, and this. I'll be like, okay, that's great. I think that in the art community, people should be more willing to take feedback like that, especially when it can help you improve a painting so much. Like, you'll see towards the end here when I take that, when I take those suggestions, that the painting improves a huge amount. So it's really important to be able to take that kind of criticism and apply it to your work. Oh, and another thing is having a reference picture like the one I have. I make a mistake towards the end of like deleting the reference photo, and instead of going and finding it, I just fly blind, and it kind of ruins the pose a little bit, and I kind of fumble with it for a while, and I'm not sure how to fix it. Which kind of ruins it. Ah, yeah, okay. Now I'm starting to fix the neck, finally. And hopefully soon I'll fix that mouth, because it looks so wonky now that it was pointed out to me. Oh god, it's like so embarrassing, but you know, it is what it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, I fixed that. And now it looks way like more proportional and everything. Proportionate, not proportional. What does proportional mean? Is that even a word? I don't know if that's a word. But yeah, let me know if anybody wants a tutorial for the hair that I do, because I have kind of like a method I do with hair. But if not, that's totally cool as well, because I have lots of other video ideas in mind. But yeah, I think I'm just like tweaking it because people were saying how funky it looked in the face and the lips. I didn't like the eyebrows either. I was still trying to figure out how to make them interesting. I didn't want just like a regular eyebrow. I wanted it to have kind of like an extra element. I also got rid of the arm that she had because it looked weird. And I felt like it helped the silhouette better to not have it, so I ended up getting rid of that. But I'm fiddling with the neck again. God, I fiddle with that a lot of this painting. I struggle with painting like the necks of my characters. I don't know why. I think I just need to do more studying with it, but I think for the most part I'm okay. I just I guess like I was in a really bad art block, and like I felt like all my art looked so bad when I was doing this painting. So it was kind of a struggle for me, and I kept like fiddling with it and struggling with it, and I think a lot of people have been in this place where you just like you don't really know what to do, and you just hate all of your art and you don't feel good about it, and everything you draw just looks bad. I was definitely in that mode. I still kind of am while recording this audio. I just think that it takes, you know, painting with references and doing studies to get back out of it. But it's definitely a phase that I get into with my paintings. Yeah, this is another like pause where I'm just probably talking to someone like, hey, anything look wrong with this? Like, is there anything I can improve? And then I go back to paint. Yeah. I think I also, you know, I think when you get in that mode, it's so important to keep drawing, even more so than when you're like stoked about your art, even though it's harder, because that's when you're going to improve the most. And I think from other speed paints on this channel, I've improved a crazy amount in a few months. And I think this is kind of starting to look how I want my art to look. And that's really exciting. It's a really exciting feeling because for a long time I didn't know how to make my style look how I wanted. Yeah, I deleted the pose and now I don't know how to draw the shoulder, and I'm struggling in the video. Yeah, that was a mistake. Keep your references, kids. Don't get rid of them when you think you're done with them, because you probably aren't. Keep them for the whole painting, because you're gonna refer back to it even when you don't think you're gonna need it anymore. Trust me. I was giving her like a little flower in her hair. I think I was, for the most part, just trying to get this like kind of end of spring, winter's coming kind of feeling with this painting. Like the petals are falling and like disasters coming a little bit, because the world's kind of feeling a little disastrous recently. And I just kind of am expressing that feeling with this painting. That worry, that anxiety, you know, God. But either way, I hope you liked the video. This painting took me, I think, an hour and a half total, maybe 2 hours. I can't remember what the total timestamp was, but it was a good experience because even though I was art blocked, I still learned a lot and I'm still improving. So I hope you keep improving too. And let me know if there's any kind of tutorial videos you want to see from me, or any type of video you want to see. And I will absolutely try to get that out, because I definitely take suggestions. And be sure to subscribe if you like this and want to see more of my art, because more is definitely coming. I've got lots of videos coming up. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.